welcome to Rock Your Block. I am your host, Tia Young. Today we're going to learn about the Center for Employment Training, located in Alexandria, Virginia. CET is a national organization providing skills training and human development for today's competitive job market. Our special guest today is Kate Celius, Director of the Center for Employment Training. Welcome, Kate, to Rock Your Block.
Thank you so much for having me. Exciting to be here.
Good. Well, we've got a lot to cover today, so let's get started.
Absolutely.
Kate, you are the director of CET. Tell us a little bit about your background and about the current role that you perform.
Absolutely. So I got into this field actually accidentally, I think as most people do. I was an English lit major, so, I worked in banking afterwards.
Right. Yeah.
So when I got into kind of the career services, the job development field, while it was accidental, I knew that was my passion. I can't imagine doing anything else than helping people find jobs at risk, low income, people who really need it, who need my help.
Right.
And then it was natural progression, doing that for about the last decade. And I was a director of career services at a different school. So it was a natural transition up to the director role, where now I manage admissions, financial aid, the instructional staff, and of course, still doing my career services. Yeah.
And I've actually had a chance to visit CET, and the students there are just awesome. I was just so amazed at the age level, because I went there thinking that they would be mostly 18 and 19-year-olds, and I mean, you've got students there that are above 50. I think that's great.
It is, and we serve such a diverse demographic, especially where we're located in Alexandria. So we have folks who are coming from many countries in Africa, primarily Ethiopia, Ghana, Sierra Leone, some native to the U.S. folks as well.
Yes.
So it's a family feel, and every student, doesn't matter where they're from, they're going to find somebody that they can click with, that they can connect with. Right. And as far as the age goes, our average age is somewhere between 30 and 35 years old.
Right. Well, I have to also put some kudos out for your staff. Your staff is excellent. They're an awesome group of people. And just like you said, family, that's what you feel like when you walk in. From the moment we walked in, I mean, there was people everywhere to help us and to assist us. So
absolutely,
that's good.
Yes,
good job.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now, I noticed that on some of your letterhead and some of your stationery that CET celebrated its 50th anniversary in 2017. I think, is that the right date?
Just last year.
Yes. So tell us all about that, and what the progression has been like.
So CET, Center for Employment Training, is a school. However, it was, I think, really originally part of a movement, a social movement. If you do the math, 50 years ago from last year is 1967. So right in the heart of the civil rights movement, right in the heart of the farm workers movement.
Yes.
The original model was born on the East Coast. Actually, a pastor identified a need, a gap between education level, skill level, employment, with his congregation as community members. So he set out to develop skilled training for those community members. California got wind of this. Cesar Chavez got wind of this.
I remember him.
Yes.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
And this is where that movement comes in. So CET was very grassroots, built from a sense of community, from social equity, from giving skilled trades to those community members who may or may not have otherwise had the opportunity to have gainful employment or elevate their education level. Right. And so here we are, and I know there's the microphone, but you can see the CET pin. I know you can't see it necessarily from there, but you can see all the different colors. This logo has not changed since the inception of CET. Has not changed.
The colors, what do the colors mean? You've got, just because people may not be, you've got black, you've got, looks like red. Is that red or orange?
We'll call it orange, red,
kind of red, orangey red.
Right.
And then there's bronze or brown and yellow.
Yep.
Or lime yellow. So, so what do those
and white.
Mean? And white. And white, yes.
So it is, it represents the diverse population that we represent.
Oh, how cool.
The inclusion. I'm not saying there's necessarily that red person right there to that hue, but the idea is, you know, we're serving a community, again, born of the farm workers movement, born of the civil rights movement. So that's why it was so important to retain, and this logo is to constantly remind us of who we serve and the diversity and the inclusion.
Right, right. Well, earlier I mentioned about how great your staff was. Can you tell us a little bit about the type of staffing that you have that helps you to do the day-to-day?
Absolutely. Well, first, you know, each of the staff is committed to the idea that anybody can benefit from this kind of training, regardless of their past, regardless of where they're coming from. And then when you kind of extrapolate that out into kind of the deeper skills part, the instructional staff, they're coming from the field. They've worked in, for example, we have 3 programs: building maintenance, HVAC, and medical assistant. And we have a doctor teaching our medical assistant class.
And that's
it is, yes.
So I want to talk more
we'll talk
about that.
Yeah. But our, you know, our maintenance instructors, our HVAC instructors, they either were recently in the field. We have an evening HVAC class, and those instructors are still in the field. So they're coming from working as an engineer at Hilton locally, and giving back 25 hours more of their week to share their real-time knowledge in the field with these students.
When your students come in, are they completely void of knowledge about the area that they're about to embark, or have they had some training in it?
Mostly new.
Mostly brand new.
So,
right.
And that speaks to kind of the foundational nature of the program. These are a blueprint. These are just a foundation for endless possibilities. So an HVAC technician coming out of our program didn't know anything before, and now they're going into HVAC, but that doesn't have to end there. You know, if a maintenance technician, for example, wants to go into a more specialized field, do an electrician apprentice, this foundation here at our school allows them to do that. Same with MA, medical assistant, go to LPN, RN.
Wow.
Sky's the limit.
So the certifications are more than one. In each of the disciplines, there are levels of certifications. Is that right? Or
yes.
Okay.
So each of these certificates that they receive from the Center for Employment, from CET, definitely hold water. We have a lot of industry partners. We've built our brand. These are companies that have also believe in CET's mission. But above and beyond the diploma, there are certifications within. That, for example, one of the HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, there's a kind of a necessary certification for them to do the work out in the field, and that's built into the course.
Right.
Our medical assistants can sit for, and will sit for, the registered medical assistant national certification.
Right. Well, when I visited your site, I guess maybe it's a couple of months ago now, the medical department had not actually started yet.
Right.
You were moving things in, but it hadn't started. So tell us about that and exactly what are you offering there?
Absolutely, thank you. It's exciting, and I'll start first by saying that, you know, having had building maintenance, having had HVAC for so long, I think it was important for us to expand our reach to the community. It does tend to attract female students, not that it's gender specific,
Right.
and you know, that's important because women are still getting paid less. Minority women,
No.
minority women even more so, and so it's really important to take these community members and kind of upskill them.
Right.
So as far as the program itself, though, like all the others, very hands-on. They get right to it, doing everything from vitals, conducting EKGs, doing blood draws, learning about anatomy and physiology, and then with their program, they spend the last 160 hours of their class out in the field on an externship. So they're in a real doctor's office, a real clinic, or a real hospital working on real patients.
So that means that when they complete their studies, that they might be able to get a job.
Absolutely.
Is that
absolutely, yeah.
a reality?
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
we are the Center for Employment Training.
Yes.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
It is. Even before the national certification, this program. This certificate from our program and this hands-on training and their experience on their 4-week externship, yes, absolutely prepare them for immediately finding a job in the field. The registered medical assistant national certification is just an extra boost to help them keep competitive in this job market.
This job market. Do you serve the entire DMV, or is it just Virginia? I know you're located here in Virginia, but you're also national all over. So what about Maryland and DC?
Well, most of our schools overall are in California.
Okay.
That was where we started in San Jose, a couple in Texas, and we are the East Coast school. But we do serve the whole DMV area. So we have folks coming from Montgomery County, Fairfax, Prince William, PG, DC, Alexandria City.
Wow.
You name it. If they can get to us, and again, we're metro accessible. We have free parking, which is always a plus in this area. Yeah.
It is a plus.
If you can get to us and you're willing and you want to put in the work, we're here for you.
So the day you have a day school and a night school. What are the hours?
So our day programs, medical assistant, building maintenance, and one of the HVAC shifts are 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. So it's consolidated, it's intense. However, that does make for a shorter program and better information retention. So they can be in the classroom, jump to the lab for a couple hours, and do it the very next day. And practice and practice. We also have HVAC in the evening from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Right. So then that means that if you have students who have full-time jobs, they're able to work and to go to school.
Exactly.
And they've got some flexibility there. That's really good. The other question I wanted to know, what happens, and we may have to cut to a break, but we can get started on it. What happens, I've graduated, I have not a clue where I need to go to look for a job. Can I come back to you for help, assistance, or am I on my own?
You can not only come back to us, we have hit that head on while you're in school. So we do have employability skills is a competency that's built into the course. It's not extra, it's required. In that course, we work on the resume and the cover letter, interviewing. More interviewing, lots of interviewing practice, but close to the graduation and of course beyond, the job developer does work one-on-one with the student to connect them with interviews with our industry partners.
Wow, it's an awesome program.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, it's time for a break. We will be right back after these important messages, so don't touch that dial.
Here we are, 2013. We all depend on technology to communicate, to bank, and none of us know how to read and write code.
The first program I wrote asked things like, what's your favorite color? Or how old are you?
I wrote a program to play tic-tac-toe.
I first learned how to make a green circle and a red square appear on the screen.
You're just trying to make something, trying to transfer something from your mind to the computer or to a tablet. It's an experience.
The whole limit in the system is just that there just aren't enough people who are trained and have these skills today.
The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else.
Great coders are today's rock stars. That's it.
Welcome back. You're watching Rock Your Block with our special guest, Kate Celius, Director for the Center for Employment Training, also known as CET. Kate, I want to go back a little bit to the medical department because it's new. So what kind of staff do you have there? Are the doctors and nurses coming from the university or from hospitals or private industry? How is that staffed?
Well, it's kind of two-part. The instructional staff, because it is a full-time position.
Oh,
so
okay.
while the class is 8 to 3 Monday through Friday, they're 8 to 5 Monday through Friday.
Okay.
To accommodate for working with students who may need a little extra help, kind of some of the administrative work that goes along with instruction. So in that respect, their time is fully dedicated to the Center for Employment Training, to CET. However, I mentioned before our externship partners. So while we don't pay them, they are instrumental in helping to train our medical assistants. They're the ones who, again, believe in CET's mission, see the value in taking new talent where they can train them and mold them to their specific needs. So they take their time with them. There's a lot of training that goes on. There's no baptism by fire. There's a lot of training that goes on during the externship. So while, again, they're not on our payroll, they play a really big part in their education.
Right. Now I'm going back to the 2 months ago when I was there. And I was really impressed because the young man who was like our tour guide
Right.
Showed me materials that I thought were really, really expensive materials, and he said that the school gives those to the students, that they don't have to pay for that. And some of that, it was electrical equipment. I don't know the names of everything, but I was really impressed with that. Can you speak a little bit about that?
I can, and the gentleman you're talking about, Sean Fife, he is our outreach specialist. He's out there in the community meeting with, doing job events, trying to impact and reach those people out in the community who could benefit from CET services. The tour is pretty cool, right?
It is really cool.
Really cool.
I was really impressed. I was.
I love showing this place off. But yes, the tools and equipment, there's campus tools and equipment that stays in the lab. Obviously, some of the bigger equipment, they can't take the refrigerant home. However, they do get a set of tools 3 weeks into their program, and that set of tools is theirs to keep. It is included with their tuition, along with their textbook, along with a CET uniform, actually 2. And that's the same for all the programs. Building maintenance gets a voucher for their tools, same concept, books, uniform, and medical assistants get a kit with like a stethoscope and other medical things they can take with them, use in the class, but then take beyond. And they get a set of scrubs. So yes, we have classroom equipment and we have tools, but they do receive their own set of tools or medical assistant equipment.
Okay, now as earlier we talked about the different types of students. You're getting young people coming in, age 18, 19. You're getting people that are coming in that maybe they have challenges. People coming from other countries and they're trying to integrate into the American way. What kind of program or do you have any type of assistance to help them integrate into the system, the ones that are having challenges and problems? Is there an outreach for that?
So again, that's also twofold, internal and external. The internal is we have on our staff a basic skills instructor. Very instrumental, again, to bridging the gaps maybe with a language barrier. Really, any of the guys, men and women doing math, it's been a while since I did math, it's been a while since they have done math. So they're there to support the students kind of outside their regular curriculum.
Right.
Additionally, we do partner with resources out in the community, whether that is for housing, whether that is for some counseling or transportation. There's some supportive funds built into helping a student who's just having a rough time getting to campus or doesn't have money for the grocery store. We have that in place because we want to make sure they not only come but finish. The whole point of this program is we're taking community members, again, individuals who may not have done the 2-year or 4-year college graduation route. So, and they are coming from different backgrounds, different situations, integrating into the U.S. way, coming out of poor living situations, trying to get more economic empowerment. So the more we can do to help them stay and complete, then we've done our job. And help them find employment, of course. That's delivering on our mission, and that's what we strive to do.
Right. You brought up something, and I know there are a lot of people who will not agree with me on this, but I'm going to say it anyway. College is wonderful, it's great, but I don't think that it's for everyone at particular points in their life.
Right.
I believe in alternatives, and I'm thinking that what you offer could be an alternative to someone who's not quite sure whether they want to go to college or whether they're ready for college. What do you think about that? Are you able to get into high schools and to other educational organizations to talk about what you do as an alternative to college? We are.
In fact, the recruiter, Sean Fife, recently went to an event at T.C. Williams High School to do just that. So, you know, the whole point is to kind of get out and offer these services to the communities. So, you know, what we do is far-reaching, and we really try to do our best to kind of open this program up to any and all who really can take advantage of it.
That's good. That's really good. And so is T.C. Williams the only high school, or are there others?
No, we work with others.
You
we work with others. Absolutely. Yeah.
What about some of the junior colleges? Are you able to get there yet, or have you tried that yet?
It's, you know, I think that's in the works. I mean, it's a different kind of a bag there with coming out of already having like maybe an associate's degree or something like that.
Right.
But you know,
so they look at it as maybe competitive, a little bit of competition there.
It may be, but I think it is different. You know, I think you're right. A 2-year or 4-year degree isn't for everybody. There's something appealing about working with your hands too.
Right.
More hands-on. More and more companies, especially in the fields that we provide them to go into, the students to enter, more and more of them are seeing the value in supporting schools like ours, trade schools, alternative higher education schools.
Right.
You know, and that comes straight from their mouths too. It's kind of proofs in the pudding when they hire and they can nurture our grads. I also conduct advisory board meetings. That's built into our program as well. It's one thing to get people hired. It's another to invite companies to the campus, have a roundtable, solicit information, feedback, suggestions that we can implement in real time. And it's kind of cool to see the progression too. At meeting after meeting, you see the same folks, and they're able to say, "Hey, that role playing you did in the maintenance lab, that's really paying off."
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you have job fairs, which I think are really
We
cool.
do.
Tell me about the job fairs.
We have one coming up actually this Monday, next Monday, March 19th. So I've been working on them for the last 4+ years that I've been there. They're twice a year. Of course, the role placement work is kind of the day-to-day, but
Right.
it's a wonderful opportunity for a lot of companies to meet a lot of grads all at once. They're very fruitful. They have a lot of fun. The students get excited. The employers get excited, and they also get candidates. They get hires.
Right. So these are real interviews that you're having right there.
We have it on the campus, and the whole idea is to connect. You know, it's all employers in their field, and it's nothing but CET graduates and students.
Oh, that's great.
So there's
And you do these periodically throughout the year?
Formally twice a year.
Okay.
Although throughout the year we like to invite individual employers to do maybe a set of interviews or have their own open house or a smaller group of them.
That's a good
The big
idea.
ones though are spring and fall.
Well, the one thing we haven't talked about is money. I'm kind of saying that one.
Yeah.
Because you do so much, it sounds like it's something that would be really, really expensive and maybe out of the range for many of the students. So talk a little bit about the financial.
Right, and that's a fair question because that's a question that when prospective students walk in, they want to know as well. It's a good question. So we are accredited. Our accrediting body is COE, the Council for Occupational Education, and because of that accreditation and our state accreditation as well for the state of Virginia, same ones that do Mason, Nova, Virginia Tech, right? It's all the same state accreditation. because we are accredited, the students who qualify for financial aid are able to receive it. So they'll come in, fill out a FAFSA. Maybe it's Pell Grants, maybe it's student loans. The price itself, without kind of, because there's varying prices for the different programs, are competitively priced. And I definitely, if there's anybody interested, encourage them to come. But yeah, there is financial aid for those who qualify, and I would say most of our students take advantage of that.
Take advantage. And what about the veterans? Are the veterans able to partake in the GI Bill?
Absolutely. The post 9/11 GI Bill, we support that. I think it's a wonderful thing, and so does CET.
Good. Now, I think I can get this one in before we have to leave. A lot of people are in their 40s, mid-40s, and 50s. And some people think, well, it's all over. I'm almost time to retire now, so I'm too old to try and go into another field. What do you say about that?
It's never too late.
Right.
It's never too late.
Right.
I'm going back for a degree, a little late right now myself. But you know what? If it's never too late.
Yeah.
The service we provide is different, I think, than a lot of traditional education. And it doesn't matter if you're 18, 55, or anywhere in between, or higher, if you want to do it and you enjoy doing it and you want to build a career, just do it. We're here for you.
Yeah, just do it. I like that.
Just do it. I totally made that up. Nike had nothing to do with it.
Well, Kate, Celius, I want to thank you so much for coming and taking the time. I know you're busy, and I really am grateful that you took the time to come.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Come back anytime.
I will.
Okay. Thank you for watching today's segment of Rock Your Block. Your mind is a terrible thing to waste. If you are struggling to find the right skill set for today's competitive marketplace and college is not an option for you at this time, contact CET or some other area training centers that are in this area to find out what employment opportunity works best for you. Thank you for watching Rock Your Block, and we'll see you next week. Same time, same place. And remember to stay focused. Bye-bye.